What would you do if someone in a position of power cut your child's connection to the world over a trivial rule violation? How would you react if your daughter's future was jeopardized because someone couldn't see past their narrow idea of what's proper? That's exactly what happened when the HOA president of our neighborhood shut off our internet during my disabled daughter's final round in the International Mathematics Olympiad. What she didn't realize was that my daughter wasn't just browsing the internet. She was representing our country as a mathematical prodigy. My name is Claire Adams, and I'm a computer science professor at the University of Colorado. I'm also a single mother to my extraordinary daughter, Naomi. About a year and a half ago, we moved to Red Rock Glen, a picturesque suburban neighborhood just outside Denver. After years of living in a small city apartment, I wanted Naomi to have more space, more accessibility, and more peace, a place where she could focus on what she loved most: math. Naomi has osteogenesis imperfecta, commonly known as brittle bone disease. She's had over 30 fractures in her 17 years and uses a wheelchair to get around. Her condition never dulled her brilliance. By 5, she was solving equations most adults struggle with. By 12, she was deep into college-level calculus. At 17, she became one of the youngest members ever selected for the United States International Mathematics Olympiad team. Because of her condition, Naomi attends school entirely online. Her virtual classroom is her world, her portal to peers and mentors, and her platform for competitions. The internet isn't a convenience for her, it's a lifeline. When we moved into Red Rock Glen, I made sure our internet was top of the line. We had fiber installed, a rooftop signal booster, and even a backup generator to avoid interruptions. These upgrades, though, quickly caught the attention of our HOA president, a woman named Barbara Whitaker. Barbara was in her 70s, impeccably dressed, and saw herself as the last line of defense against the downfall of suburban order. She'd led the HOA for more than a decade, and she took that position with religious seriousness. Our troubles started shortly after we moved in. One afternoon, I was out front with the technician finishing the signal booster install when Barbara approached, clipboard in hand. "Excuse me," she said. "What exactly are you installing?" I explained the importance of a stable internet connection for Naomi's virtual education and competitions. She frowned. Modifications like rooftop boosters and street-to-home cabling require prior HOA approval. It's all in Section 12 of the Community Covenants. I submitted the forms via email, I told her. I even got a confirmation. "We only accept paper forms with wet signatures in triplicate," she snapped. She wasn't just old-fashioned. She was hostile to anything she didn't understand. Even though the handbook encouraged electronic communication to cut down on waste, Barbara insisted otherwise. I bit my tongue and agreed to resubmit everything the way she wanted. But she wasn't done. She demanded the technician stop immediately. The technician protested, saying halting now could compromise the connection. I overrode her and told him to finish. Barbara stormed off, calling over her shoulder that I should prepare an explanation for the Architectural Review Committee. That night, I told Naomi what had happened. "She sounds like she thinks Wi-Fi is witchcraft," Naomi said, exasperated. "Does she not get that I need this to learn?" I smiled and told her not to worry. But the headaches kept coming. Barbara sent complaint after complaint. Our backup satellite dish, the visibility of Naomi's adaptive workstation through a window, even deliveries of math software and equipment, everything became a violation in her eyes. Every time I tried to reason with her, she repeated the same line. "Everyone has challenges, but rules are rules." Thank goodness for our neighbor, Harold Kim. Harold, a retired NASA software engineer, lived across the street and quickly became Naomi's biggest cheerleader. He had helped develop key code for Mars rover missions and now spent retirement mentoring gifted kids in math and robotics. He and Naomi clicked instantly over nonlinear dynamics and game theory. When I told him about our issues with Barbara, he scoffed. "She thinks cloud storage means rain," he said. "Don't let her scare you off." As the date of the International Mathematics Olympiad finals neared, the tension escalated. Naomi had made it through early rounds with perfect scores. The finals were being held virtually because of lingering international travel restrictions. For weeks, she prepared nonstop daily video calls with her team, study groups, whiteboards filled with formulas. 2 days before the final, we received an official HOA violation letter. It accused us of running an unauthorized commercial operation out of our house due to our high bandwidth usage and frequent online meetings. She's accusing my math competition of being a business? Naomi said. This is beyond ridiculous. I tried reasoning with Barbara again. I explained everything. She was unmoved. Education should take place in a school, she said. Not in a private residence. I explained Naomi's condition. She brushed it off with a patronizing, I'm sympathetic, of course. But fairness means applying the rules equally. I contacted the HOA board. A few members expressed support but said Barbara had wide latitude. One older board member, Mr. Fulton, quietly told me to lay low until the competition was over. That Sunday morning, we had everything ready. Naomi was set up in her office, math symbols on her breakfast pancakes, the adaptive keyboard tuned to her specifications. Then, at 7:50 a.m., the internet went out. I checked everything. The router, backup systems, the mobile hotspot. All dead. Then the doorbell rang. Barbara stood there, smiling like she'd won. I see your internet's down, she said. You did this on purpose, I snapped. It's well within the HOA's rights to restrict services associated with rule violations. Maybe your daughter should focus on more age-appropriate hobbies. Before I could respond, Harold stepped up the walkway carrying a portable satellite dish. Got your SOS, he said, brushing past her. Military-grade uplink. She'll be online in 2 minutes. You can't bring unauthorized equipment in here, Barbara shouted. Sure I can. Emergency Exception Clause. Article 5, Section 3. Look it up. While she fumed, Harold got Naomi connected. The exam portal loaded with seconds to spare. Then came a knock at the door. A new neighbor, Monica Torres, stood there in a navy suit. Heard the commotion, she said. I'm a civil rights attorney specializing in disability access. Want some help? Monica stepped inside, handed Barbara her business card, and began asking questions about discrimination, intent, and equal access. Barbara wilted. Naomi completed the exam with full connectivity, solving every problem combinatorics, graph theory, differential equations with quiet confidence. Monica stayed afterward, helping me draft a formal complaint. Harold contributed technical data proving the signal loss was intentional. We compiled evidence of selective rule enforcement. Mr. Fulton provided board meeting minutes that showed Barbara's pattern of targeting us. News spread. Neighbors came by with their own stories. Barbara had fined a couple for installing a temporary ramp. She'd punished a teenager for having a learning pod during COVID. The outrage grew. The next day, Naomi won a gold medal. News crews came. Naomi told them calmly, I'm used to solving problems. Bullies are just another kind of equation. Barbara was removed as HOA president by unanimous vote that night. But the story didn't end there. The HOA adopted new inclusive policies. Naomi helped draft them. Harold launched a community tech literacy program. Monica created a hotline for residents needing legal help with accessibility issues. And Barbara? She returned months later with an apology. She helped fund a scholarship for students with disabilities. She even asked Naomi to teach her how to use Zoom. Now, Red Rock Glen is known not just for its tree-lined streets, but for being one of the most accessible and inclusive communities in Colorado. Naomi's heading to MIT in the fall. She's building an app to mentor young disabled mathematicians. As she says, the best equations aren't perfect because they exclude a theory, beautiful because they include every variable. Sometimes it takes one person refusing to back down to change everything. Sometimes the worst moments reveal the best in a community. And sometimes standing up to a rule that's wrong is the smartest thing you can do.